Hello everyone, welcome back to Primetime Crisis. I am Captain Logan.
And I'm Jason.
Jason and I have just a couple of things to talk to you about today. The first one is the pilot for Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and this is available right now on YouTube for free to watch. Kind of a cool thing that Nickelodeon did, let everybody see the pilot for free, and there are a few more episodes apparently on Nickelodeon.com if you have a... At least as I understand it, if you have a cable subscription. I do not, so I've not been able to watch those. So we're just going to talk about the pilot today. Jason, I'll start off by saying I don't feel like I've seen enough of this show to really even comment on it, but we'll do this in a how we're feeling kind of format where I'll just give you my immediate gut reaction, and after I see more of the show, I may feel somewhat differently about it. Who knows, but we'll just talk a little bit about what we think right out the gate. What was this whole thing? What was that? So Jason, I want to hear from you first. Obviously, this is a real different kind of beast from the last Ninja Turtle show. It's 2D animation now. It's aimed at a little bit of a younger demographic. We've got our turtles themselves aimed a little lower, kind of a preteen kind of thing. It's a lot more goofball. It's not your standard Ninja Turtles villains right out the gate. We have a completely different characterized Splinter, and the Turtles themselves are pretty differently characterized.
Anything like Splinter.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't want to get mired in any particular detail right away, but Jason, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you thought of the first episode of Rise of the Ninja Turtles?
Yeah. Well, I don't like the animation.
You don't?
I don't like the animation. I don't think it's very good. I don't know.
Do you not like it because it's not what you're used to with Ninja Turtles, or or would you not really? This is a hard question to ask, but do you think you wouldn't really care for it if that's what anything looked like? Like, is it just? Do you just think it looks kind of ugly, or is it just not what you want Turtles to look like?
I think I don't.
You just don't like the style at all.
Well, I think it would be good for, like, I don't know, like a more actual goofy thing that was actually supposed to be a goofy thing in a more goofy thing in the first place.
Well, that is the approach we're taking with this, certainly. I mean, I want to take it on its own terms as much as I can. You know, it wants to be somewhat more farcical than the last iteration. You know, I mean, it is a jokier show with kind of more cartoon logic.
Yeah, I just don't like it on Turtles.
Yeah.
On Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Turtles' designs.
I don't like...
You know, I'm being open. I'm trying to be open-minded about it, but yeah, I mean, just on first glance, I don't care for the look.
I don't like Splinter.
They could win me over on it with. I don't like anything about the one scene we had with Splinter. We'll see where they're going with that, and if there's anything to him at all beyond his just being like an absentee father that's really lazy and isn't actually raising his kids.
Yeah.
I don't love that. It seems like they're just making a joke of that, and yeah.
He's gray now.
Is that your whole thing? Is just you just don't like the color of Splinter? Like, I'm talking about the characterization of the guy.
And also he is too, like, I feel like he's too little and too gray and like. Well,
keep in mind, I mean, they're doing.
There's nothing to do with him, like.
They're making him a completely different character.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, the Turtles haven't even been trained, we're told. You know, like, Splinter is not the wise sage character. Like I said, trying to take this on its own terms, it's certainly not what I want from Ninja Turtles. It's really easy to immediately go, like, dismiss a thing because it's not your version, it's not what you want. Like, Batman Brave and the Bold isn't a lot of people's Batman, and a lot of people kind of wrote it off because it was jokey Batman at a time when they didn't want jokey Batman. I thought that show was brilliant for what they were doing. This has not won me over yet, even looking at what they're trying to accomplish. I will say this, It's better than I thought it would be.
Really?
I thought it would be completely unwatchable. There are things I liked about it, and it might be a somewhat rocky pilot that gets more fun and where I start to get a better sense of what exactly they're trying to accomplish as I move along. It kind of felt like different for the sake of different to me. Like, this didn't have to be Ninja Turtles. It kind of could have been anything. It sort of feels like. And like I said, just kind of let's make a thing that's completely different from anything you've seen. Well, mission accomplished. I mean, I guess you did that. But it was cleverer than I thought it would be. Donatello says some stuff that made me actually kind of laugh out loud. I don't mind the animation itself. I'm not a big fan of the character models, but I thought it was going to look completely lazy and be way too flash animation. It doesn't read lazy to me. Like, it could grow on me. It could start to feel more like just a stylistic choice. I don't think the actual work itself is shoddy, is what I'm saying. Right out the gate, really generic bad guy. Not impressed with him yet.
Yeah.
But again, could win me over. I don't know, I'm just in a real wait-and-see place right now. It's not a thing that I immediately wanted to see more of after I watched it, though, which is, you know, unfortunate.
Will there be a Shredder?
That's a good question. It seems like they want to make up their own characters and do their own thing right out the gate.
Will there be a Shredder? Will there be a Krang? Will there be foot soldiers?
To be fair,
don't know.
It makes a lot of sense. I mean, you just want it to be done well, but it makes a lot of sense that they're trying to go their own way and make up their own stuff at the beginning of this, because the last show was such a love letter to the 87 show and to Turtles mythology in general, all the way up to ending it with another crossover with 87, that I totally get what they're doing here. I'm gonna sound like I did when we found out that Spider-Man was being rebooted the first time. I'm not sure I wouldn't have given it a year or two breather. I think it might have been smart to let it sit for a little bit before you rushed out another show. And obviously the main reason you do this is to sell toys. I'm assuming that Playmates is keeping the license, although I haven't seen new figures yet. But the last show sold really well for them, and Playmates brought back the Turtles toys kind of the way we had them in with the 87 show. And they made a bazillion figures, and they made something based on everybody, and it was that old model. I don't know if they'll do that this time, but obviously the main reason that you reboot right away is because A, your last show was really popular and you probably expect people want more Ninja Turtles, but B, merchandising. I don't know if this style is going to sell toys. I just don't know that people are, or that even kids are really going to latch onto this real hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I guess we'll find out. It is not the Teen Titans Go of Ninja Turtles. Like, I think...
No, it isn't.
Like I think other people might have thought maybe it would be. It is an action show. We do have proactive turtles. They are going out there and trying to fight, albeit in a somewhat immature way because they don't know what they're doing yet.
I don't know why.
But I say it's farcical. It's not a straight-up farce. I mean, they certainly are trying to tell, to some degree, kind of, standard superhero action stories. It's just more of a with more goofball sensibilities. It's still Turtles trying to stay in the shadows and not let people see them and that kind of thing. So I mean, there is an internal logic to it.
Yeah, I don't know why, but Donatello has 3D glasses.
Yep.
He has 3D glasses.
Yeah, weirdly, a lot of the things that we're talking about on the omnibus on the minibus this week have characters with 3D glasses.
Yeah, the sea has 3D glasses. This has 3D glasses.
There was even something else, but anyway.
I don't know.
Yeah, the more kind of mystical element of it could be cool. That is a thing, of course, that we broach with Ninja Turtles. We go to space. We do mysticism. We do magic. It looks like this is gonna be a really magic infused show. They've got they immediately find technology that is supposed to be like a blend of science fiction and magic, of science and magic, and that might be intriguing. We'll see what they do with that. But yeah, I'm indifferent. I don't hate it. It didn't speak to me. I wasn't like really super jazzed about it.
Yeah, same thing with me. I don't hate it. I don't love it. Just in the middle.
Yeah. I don't even know how to do a sign flip on that. I mean, like, I'm kind of right in the middle. I don't even want to flip it yet. So yeah, will you flip it? Are you more definitely red or definitely green, or are you in the same place I am?
Same place.
Same place. You're just like eh. I'm in a real place right now, which I don't like to review anything that way, but I need to see more of it.
We should make another stick that has
just a middle stick.
Well,
would it be like orange?
No, it would be an orange. Just another stick that you just put up that has
like a sliding guy.
Just no.
It just says eh.
Yeah, it just says eh.
See, I don't want to do that because that's so ambiguous.
A period,
you know, like I've always tried to make sure I flip the sign one way or another. If I have to, gun to my head, it's red right now, but I need to see more of it. I don't think that's fair yet.
You should do one that has kind of feeling it. Kind
of feeling it. Yeah, it's too ambiguous. Also, real quick, I wanted to talk about the turtles themselves a little bit. Leonardo, for the first time I've ever seen him, is characterized a little bit more like Michelangelo. He's got a line where he's like, where he says something about like diffusing tense situations with humor. Like that's how he copes. That's always been a Michelangelo thing before. I'm not complaining. It's just interesting that we've kind of like flipped a lot of character traits. And
then now
I'm not sure if there's going to be
Leonardo.
Yeah, well, no, not really. Michelangelo was kind of just barely there. He in that first episode anyway. He doesn't get a lot to do, and he jokes a little bit, but you know he's not the kind of class clown that he usually is. Like the last show, it seems like they're maybe compensating for the fact that Donatello has been shafted a lot traditionally, so they make him like the main character. Well, not really, but he's got so much dialogue, and a lot of the comedy comes from him. And then Raphael is the leader now, as we knew before we came into this, and but still has some Raphael type sensibilities about him. I thought maybe we would reverse him and Leonardo would be the kind of headstrong hothead, and he's not. Raphael still has that.
Yeah.
But he also makes the plans and.
I don't know if he's like kind of like mad all the time, like he usually is.
You know,
that's what I like about
22 minutes of television, like.
Yeah, that's what I like about Raphael. Is he's mad all the time.
I guess I like that they didn't feel the need to go to origin territory again. Like, you know, this is obviously super early in the career, but they've already met April. She's fighting with them. She's helping them out. We don't know a whole lot about her yet. She's just kind of with them, and then and like I said, I guess they've been on the streets a little bit, but they're not letting people know about them. One of the funniest things in the episode, I thought, was that Donatello thinks they're in another dimension, and then they're just under the city. And he's like, that was my second thought. Like, I thought that was really funny. But yeah, there were a few things that I laughed at. And then other things that I just thought the humor kind of fell flat or wasn't my thing. So yeah, I don't know. I'm really indifferent to that.
Yep.
I can see the appeal for some people. It's not my thing right away, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We had an interesting request on Patreon, and let me pull this up and make sure that I know who suggested this.
I forget who it was.
Yeah, this came from Ian McKee. Yeah, Ian McKee asked us to watch the pilots for the Batman and Beware the Batman. And Jason, you're going to have to do most of the talking on this one because these are both things that, of course, I've seen before and that I've talked about a little bit. But he wanted Jason to see those two pilots and compare and contrast them and talk about which one he likes better. So we started with the Batman. And before you do that, let's just talk a little bit about these two shows and and about the kind of similarities and differences between them. And then you can tell us which one you like the most and why. So what is the Batman like? And what is Beware the Batman like?
Well, the Batman, well...
I'm going to teach Jason basic compare and contrast.
I forget the villain in Beware the Batman.
Oh, well, that was Pig and Toad, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're starting with the Batman. So what was the Batman like?
Okay, the Batman was,
Like just describe it a little bit. Like what the show looks like, what happens in it. Yeah.
The Joker looks weird.
Yeah.
The Joker.
He's got dreadlocks and
and
no shoes on his feet.
Yeah, I don't know why. And then it's a whole another story. Like, Batman doesn't know the Joker. The Joker
It's their first meeting, isn't it?
A new guy in prison, and ha 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 ha.
Yeah, you're right. Nobody knows about the Joker, do they?
Yeah. And then it's really funny because he only has that much amount of laughing gas.
Oh yeah.
He's like, I'm all out of laughing gas. He's got way more in his.
They made that pretty scary, didn't they?
Yeah. In his place.
Yeah, no, that's a good call. I hadn't thought about that. It's interesting the ways in which the Batman is a really is a really traditional Batman in the ways in which it's brand new. And when it first came out, and I notoriously really did not like that show when it started, and I've come around on it some.
Really?
I still haven't watched a lot of it, but when it was on Netflix, I watched the first half of the first season and didn't get around to finishing it, and then that left, and I don't have a copy of all of it. So I need to get the rest of that show so that I can keep watching it. But anyway, but when it, obviously it was difficult not to just make comparisons to the original series, to Batman the Animated Series, and by comparison it felt a lot more cartoony, but it's more straightforward and serious and telling real stories than I gave it credit for when it first came out. And I mean, it is a real traditional Batman thing in the sense that, Batman, or Joker's doing his standard Joker thing. Yeah, he's all about order over chaos, or sorry, chaos over order, and you've got a Batman who, it's early in his career, and Alfred is telling him that he needs to keep up appearances with Bruce Wayne in order to be Batman, so he's got that, juggling his personal life with being Batman thing. He's not really interested in his personal life, he just wants to be Batman. And it's a less brooding Batman than normal, but he still has the same motivations, it still starts from the same place, he's still, throwing himself totally into Batman. Although it's not that deep-rooted psychology that it often is, and he doesn't have that same, like, I think of myself as Batman before Bruce Wayne. Like, he's a little bit more, level-headed and even has, I think, maybe more of a sense of humor than your standard Batman does, but he's still, like, laser-focused on Batman and doesn't really care about the Bruce Wayne side.
Yeah. So I think that this show is pretty good. Alfred is pretty good. Nothing to say about him. Batman is just like you said, he's not that broody, but he is Batman.
Yeah, you got your standard dry wit with Alfred. He seems like a real kind of standard comic book Alfred.
Yep.
For the most part.
Yep.
What do you think of the look of that show?
I really like the animation. It's really cool.
Yeah?
Yeah. The only thing I don't like about the animation is Joker.
Yeah? You just don't like that look?
Yeah.
Do you mind the voice? I mean, do you just not like the whole package, or is it just what he looks like?
It's just what he looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I like the voice, yeah.
Yeah? Yeah, I like him a lot, too. It's grown on me, but yeah, at this point, I like him quite a bit. I really like the gothic look of that show, like the more I see it. It looks, it's got like a real European gothic thing going on. I've always called that Gotham kind of like a dark, like 18th century Venice or something. But yeah, so comparing it immediately to Beware the Batman, I'll just throw some questions at you. So the difference in animation, obviously, one is 2D, one is 3D. Right?
Yeah. Beware the Batman is, I don't know. Like...
Interesting.
Like... I feel like... Batman, of course, is, still... I don't know. He is still Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Still. But, like...
Interestingly, he's kind of dealing with some of the same things that he is in the pilot of the Batman, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Piggy and Toad is hilarious. It took me...
Like, you actually think they're funny? Yeah, they kind of played them as mildly disturbing, but you thought they were funny?
Yeah, I thought that they were kind of funny.
I think that both of those shows are heightened in kind of different ways. Like, Beware the Batman plays itself as a more realistic, almost more adult kind of thing, but then it has, in Toad, just an anthropomorphized Toad guy. I don't really know how he got that way.
So...
Like, I want to say the Batman is more heightened than Beware the Batman, but I don't know if it is.
It took me, like, half of the show to figure out the Piggy is wearing a mask.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The pig is wearing a mask? Because...
That's Professor Pig, yeah.
Professor Pig. Whatever his name is. I keep calling him Piggy for some reason.
Yep.
I knew that it was a mask because, I saw the straps.
Sure.
That's why I knew that it was a mask.
Yeah, I don't know how Toad turned into a Toad guy. So anyway, but let's back up a little bit and talk about what that show is like and what it's about. So what do you think about the Bruce Wayne Alfred relationship in that show?
Alfred is not Alfred.
He's not what you're used to, certainly.
Yeah, I like the whole thing about, Alfred also needs to worry about Batman and Bruce Wayne.
Sure.
I mean, Bruce Wayne and Batman.
The distinction there, right?
Yeah.
And again, that's the thing where I'm saying it kind of has something in common with the Batman, where it's about, having to maintain both of those personalities to make the one that you care more about work.
Mm-hmm. And, I don't know. I don't like Alfred.
You just don't like him? Is it just because it's not what you're used to, or?
Yeah, I think...
Or is he just...
He's just not what I'm used to.
Sure,
like,
yeah.
He's just... At
but he might
first
go
I'm
on
like...
if you keep watching the show.
Yeah.
He ends up being really interesting.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, sure.
At first I'm like, wait, that's Alfred?
Yeah.
Because,
no, there's a big adjustment to make, certainly.
One thing he doesn't...
It's a major reinvention, yeah. And that's gotten, by the way, lately, that's become a really popular thing to do with Alfred, to make him a little bit younger, to make him
he doesn't look old.
Yeah, to put him in more in more action-oriented scenes, to give him a gun. That's the thing more and more we've been doing.
Yeah.
This would have been the show to make him straight up the sidekick for Batman. And we didn't do that. We right away had to get him injured so that he could bring in Katana and give Batman a new sidekick. This show is all about putting Batman with kind of B and C-list villains that haven't gotten to be on screen much. And what do you think about that? Like this show, you've only seen the pilot now, but it doesn't do a Joker. It's the villain that pops up most often is Anarchy, which is a character that a lot of people don't love the way he was handled. But Humpty Dumpty gets an episode. Just a lot of characters that you don't see a lot usually. And
who's
of course,
Humpty Dumpty?
Yeah, right, exactly. But like there's not a Robin.
He's a villain.
Yep, there's not a Robin. There's Katana, and it's actually really interesting. But there's Katana instead of Robin. So what do you think about that?
I think that's kind of cool.
Just having some different characters. And
yeah.
What do you think of the animation of that show?
I don't like it.
Really?
It's...
Let me ask you this. What do you think of the animation in Ninja Turtles 2012? Like the 3D animation there? Or do you just not remember it?
I don't remember it.
Okay. So, I mean, like, are you just kind of averse to 3D animation in this kind of stuff? Do you just want it to be 2D, or do you just not like the style they went with?
I just don't like that it's 3D.
Just at all?
Well, it's... one thing about it is
I think it ends up working really well for the show.
It's 3D. The other thing is just I mean, I kind of want it to be 2D and then still have that animation. It's just the 3D thing.
Okay. Is it just because it's not detailed enough, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what it is. Don't think it's that detailed.
So you very much like the Batman over Beware the Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Not two things I ever would have thought to compare, and they're surprisingly more comparable than I thought they would be. And it's funny because I guess, and I don't know if this is what Ian was thinking when he picked this for us, but it's funny because the main thing they seem to have in common, just right out at the gate at the start, is just they both have the Batman in the title. One's the Batman, the other's Beware the Batman. Oh, you would not stop complaining about the theme song.
Beware.
That's another thing that they both kind of have in common, at least with the first theme. Because the Batman, I don't know if you know this, but later on they changed the theme.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but the end of
it doesn't go the Batman.
Yeah, the end of that song, it goes the Batman, and the end of this song, it's Beware the Bat. It's just kind of interesting that they're different things, but they both are instrumental songs that have someone saying something with the Batman at the end of them.
The Batman.
So you don't mind that?
Beware.
They even have.
The Batman.
Does that just irritate you?
Yes.
I actually like that a lot. I think it's
Stop
pretty good.
saying beware.
Well, yeah, that's true. I guess that actually has at least that one lyric through that chorus, but. They're not entirely dissimilar theme songs either. Like they have a little bit in common with the guitar riff.
The other thing is, I don't know why, but you remember the phone call in Beware the Batman?
Not right off.
There's a phone call with Alfred and Batman, and it's kind of like a Skype call or whatever. Like,
over his face on the phone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but it's trying to be like you're seeing what Batman is seeing on the phone. And then you see Alfred's phone inside the phone, but Alfred's phone is the thing that has all the footage on it. I don't know why that.
I did not notice that.
Well, I did, and it happens like 2 or 3 times.
Real quick, if I have to pick between them, it's kind of what mood I'm in. I mean, the nice thing about Batman is there's so many different ways to do him, and this kind of just becomes a taste and mood issue. Like I said, at one time, I didn't like the Batman at all. I've really softened on it, and it's a more stylized, more heightened Batman, which is kind of more my bag, I guess, depending on how you do it. You know, I mean, I like a grounded Batman too, certainly. So I don't know. I guess like I said, it kind of depends on the mood I'm in. But I do like a really stylized Batman. I start with '89, and you know, it's a really stylized Batman. I feel like I need to see more Beware the Batman. I still don't have a great handle on it, but I don't know. Like I said, it kind of depends on my mood. I think the day we watched them together, I was kind of more into the Batman than I was Beware the Batman. Weirdly.
Yeah, and
But I don't just immediately like it over Beware the Batman. It kind of just depends on how I'm feeling at the time.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Anything else you want to say about those?
No, I think the Batman is better.
Yeah?
I
So if you had to pick between those shows to watch all the way through, and there's a lot more of the Batman than there is Beware the Batman.
Yeah, I want to see more of both of them to just see if it even gets better.
Sure.
If, like, Beware the Batman actually gets better. And also, it doesn't have that annoying theme song, and then the other, with the Batman, just, I don't know, like, more characters.
Yeah, sure. And they go to some more obscure stuff, too.
Oh, really?
In that show. But they do the major villains, but they do some other characters that you don't see a lot.
Okay. with Beware
like
the
Clean Bastard and
Batman,
stuff.
do they change the theme song?
No. But it only got one season, so.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Oh.
22 episodes, I think, is all I got.
I thought I saw 2 seasons of that.
No, it's 2 volumes of the same season.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, folks, thanks a lot for watching. Sure appreciate
Yeah.
it. Leave your comments. Tell us what you thought of the new Ninja Turtle series, and also what your preference is between The Batman and Beware the Batman.
Beware.
And in the meantime, I'm Captain Logan.
With the cap.
And this is Jason. We're going to move on now to the next segment on our minibus. So if you're watching the playlist, just keep it rolling.
Keep it rolling.
And thanks again, guys. I'm Captain Logan, and this is Jason, and we'll see you next time.
Jason.